What's up, YouTube? So I'm trying out this camera on the laptop, and doesn't look like it's a very clear picture. I guess I'll see when I try and play it back. But all right. So I had some people asking me about the shit, hair in my eyes. Sorry. People asking me about the guitar in the background, and I kind of played it a little bit Wednesday night after the Queen deep dive, and I've had people say, "Why don't you play some on live and whatnot?" I'm like, well, there's a real good reason, and it's not because I suck, because I don't suck. I'm not fucking brilliant. I'm not like Yngwie Malmsteen or Joe Satriani, Vagina or something. What's that guy's name? Vagina. Anyways, I'm not like those dudes, and I don't have the gear. Unfortunately, a couple years ago when things started getting kind of weird for me with my domestic situation that I had to get out of, I had to sell most of my good gear. I had to sell a 2004 Paul Reed Smith Custom 22, which was my baby, and I gave that thing away for a ridiculously low amount of money. That guy stole that guitar from me, and he knows it, but I was desperate for money. A 94 Strat Plus with lace sensor pickups, American made. That was I crazy story about that is it's like the week after Christmas, or maybe it was a week of Christmas in '94. Walked into a music store in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and they had like a raffle thing when you walk in, you take a ball out, and then that ball had like a percentage discount in it, and it said right inside the door, hope you get the 50% off, because there's only 2 of them in this jar of like 300 balls or something like that. And when I pulled a 50% out, which the first and last time I ever had like good luck like that. And so of course that put the pressure on me to buy shit, and I found a beautiful Strat that was, at the time, I think it was like, I don't know, like $1,400, somewhere in that range, and I ended up getting it for like $700, and I bought an amp too, and some effects pedals, and I think I bought some rack gear too. So anyways, I still have the rack gear and some of the pedals, because those you can't really sell and make a lot of money unless it's an original HM2 or an original Tomb Screamer or something like that. I mean, there's original fuzz, big muffs and phasers, the Phase 90 and all that stuff like that. Those things, originals, people will pay good money for, but not the mass-produced ones. I had like a Chorus CE3 and a DD1 and a OD1 and sorry man, I'm battling a lung thing I can't seem to shake. Anyway, so yeah, I had to get rid of all that stuff, and the only thing that I could really keep around, my Martin D28, that was a 2006. I had a Taylor 617, I think it was. So yeah, I had to sell a lot of stuff, and just so I could survive, because there for a little while I didn't even know if I was going to have a roof over my head. But the one guitar I did keep that went into storage and didn't get out a lot because I had much better guitars. Not that this one sucked, but is an Ovation 4861? I think it's a 4861 thin body cutaway. Now, when I bought this, I bought it through Chuck Levins in Washington D.C., and it was a mail order thing, and so it was like the precursor to getting on the internet and doing like the Musician's Friend or Sweetwater or something like that. And I think one of those companies, like maybe Musician's Friend, might have bought Chuck Levins out a long time after that. But it had a 3-band parametric EQ in it. Have no idea what kind of a pickup system's in there. It's whatever, proprietary. And the great thing about this was that it's already banged up, so that's not a big deal. I think the bowl is like at its deepest. It might back here. It might be maybe 5 inches or 6 at the most. But the original Balladeers are huge. I mean, they're really fat bottoms. They have probably 10-inch bowl depth on those things. And they say bowl because it's obviously it's shaped like a bowl, and it's some type of a plastic polymer that's hard as rocks, which plays into the story in a minute. But this one was made in Korea, South Korea, and I thought they were made in the U.S. I was told they were made in the U.S. when I called down there. That's what I thought. It wasn't true, because you can see on the sticker inside the bowl here, South Korea on there. But they made good guitars back then, and Ovation was one of the earliest to probably use an outside source like that. And so this is a 1989 Balladeer thin body cutaway, and the neck is, to my knowledge, it's all wood. It's all wood on the top of the neck. I know that. Of course, Ovation has that cool looking headstock. Gotta admit, they have one of the cooler headstocks ever. You can see it's pretty dusty. Schaller tuners on here, which is pretty crazy. A rosewood bridge, and then you can see the big giant crack in the top finish, the top piece of spruce. And how that happened was I was watching football. This is probably about 2002. I probably had the guitar at least 10 years by then. So 90, what did I say, 89, 99. Yeah, it was 99 or 2000. And, everybody that knows me knows I'm a big Tennessee Titans fan. That was either the year or the year after. I can't remember my history very well from that. I think it was... Anyways, it was the year we made it to the Super Bowl, I believe, or the year after, or year before. And we did something stupid during a game, and I was laying in bed, as I often did, just noodling. And my ex-wife now, was at work, and the kids were in bed. And I'm watching this game, and I'm getting pissed because we're just doing stupid shit. I think we ended up losing like the Raiders or something like that. And I had been playing, and typically I would lay it down on its face on the bed, and I guess I didn't realize it, but I put face up, threw the blanket, went to the bathroom, came back, and sat back down, and then something happened, and I went and thinking that I was going to hit the back of the guitar, which is no big deal. I mean, you can hit that. You'd have to hit that so fucking hard, it's crazy, and I don't even know then if you'd dent it very easily. But it was laying upright. And yeah, that's what happened. I heard it right away. I'm like, oh my God. So I never really did anything about it because the bracing wasn't damaged in the inside, and it still sounded pretty good. But as time wore on, this thing got put away in storage, and because I had better and nicer guitars, and the neck started to go a little bit. And if you can't really tell, but if you're up here and looking at it, you can tell it's kind of doing the concave thing. And so what that means is that there's a section between here, probably like the third, from the 5th fret to the 12th fret, about the 15th fret, that you get a lot of neck buzz, a lot of fret buzz, and then that's also that's a dead fret, more or less. Same there. Frets 9 and 10 are pretty much shot. So because of that, everything in between there is okay. They're pretty all right in the middle there. Get a little bit of fret buzz because, frankly, this thing needs a refretting and needs the neck adjusted. And then I probably, if I had the money, I would probably get this fixed too. But you're talking a couple $100 to do that on a guitar that's only worth maybe 700-800 in good shape. It just doesn't seem like a smart thing to do. I think I'd rather dump that money into a Taylor or a Martin or something nice. Pardon me, I'm yawning a little bit. So, people do ask me though why, I've gotten some private messages and hey, why don't you do some stuff? And I did some stuff on Wednesday night, just noodling around. So the intonation's really bad on it. It doesn't stay in tune very good. But it's hard to play because the frets are just they don't feel normal. And while I can do I can move pretty quickly on it, it's it seems like it's always like I feel like I hit dead spots a lot in it. And so a lot of reason I don't want to play is because I don't want it to make me look bad because it's a difficult guitar to play. I can kind of keep my chops up on it with a lot of clams. So I can do that kind of stuff and just keep my fingers kind of limber. Although I'm having more and more trouble with playing with what's going on with me neurologically. It's kind of affecting me a little bit. So I don't know if there's much more to tell about it. I will say too, the other thing about this is that these strings that are on this guitar right now are probably 14 years old. I don't think I've changed them since, man, god damn, let me look at the windings. Yeah, with the exception of one or two breaks, I always tend to break my G string. But and probably a B and E string that I'd probably restrung it with. So the bass notes, or the bass strings rather, probably have been on there for fucking forever. Literally probably 14 years, which is kind of crazy. But it's kind of stupid to go out and buy, even now with I'm just monkeying around on it, go out and buy new strings at $20 or whatever the hell strings even cost these days to throw on a guitar that's kind of not a very easy guitar to play. That So, yeah, anyway, the thing's been around a long time. I can't seem to just get rid of it, and I could probably sell it for maybe a couple hundred. I don't know. With that break in it, though, somebody can make it, I'll give you $100 for it. That's probably what that would be. But I just looked them up on Reverb, and in decent shape, even with the top a little bit fucked up, they go for about $750, $800. I'm 99.9% sure when I bought this in 1989, I paid $900 for it. I still have the receipt in the case, which is somewhere. It's in a closet jammed away. I still have the actual receipt for it, and I'm pretty sure it was like $9.99 or 990 or something stupid like that, which means somebody made a fuck ton of money on it back then, because that was 89. So 99, 2009, 2019, we're talking 34 years ago almost. Remember, I think I got it in like October, right before Christmas. And it was pretty cool because I recorded... I recorded... See, I barely played it. See, it's out of tune, and it's really hard to get it to intonate properly and stay in tune. That's another reason I don't really do a lot of playing online with it, because it's kind of frustrating. It won't stay in tune really well. But for a 30-some-year-old guitar that's been beat to hell, spent about 10 years in a storage facility, maybe not, 7 years anyways, and then has 14-year-old strings on it, it's actually not that bad. It actually doesn't sound that bad. But see, I go to do something like that, and it just fucking acts stupid, and I hit a bum note, and it just pisses me off. Nothing pisses me off more than hitting wrong notes when notes that don't fret properly, don't sound properly right. So, but yeah, that's the story on it. This thing's old, man, like really old. My oldest kid is 27, going on 28. So I did have it about 4 or 5 years before. Sorry, piece of fuzz here on the one fret, or on the one string. So I had it, 4 or 5 years before she was born, and it's just crazy. It's been this long. It's been hanging around this long that I, didn't get rid of it at some point to upgrade. When I did upgrade, I was like, I'm not getting rid of this one. So sentimentally, it means a lot to me, even though it doesn't play really well. I would imagine that if I had money, I would probably get it fixed, but see, I hear that buzzing of the frets, and it pisses me off. But I do that. Pisses me off. Anywho, that's the story of the Ovation, and I'll post this. I don't know whether I'll leave it up, because I wish I could play something more effective for you guys, but it just sounds like shit. Let's see if that's better. Yes. There it is. Anyways, yeah, I forget how it even goes now. Just But that's the story. I'm sticking to it. So there you go. I don't know. This was just a lot of rambling. I apologize for that, but it's kind of fun to pick up and just kind of explain the origin of this guitar and why I don't tend to play it on the air much, because it makes me look like a shitty player, and I don't think I am a shitty player, but it's just like wrangling cats with this guitar. A, to keep it in tune, A, to not bottom out on a note and have a bad fret buzz, and B, to just, I will admit I'm one of those guys that knows 9 million parts to songs, but I'm terrible at learning the song unless I need to learn it for some reason. If I'm just monkeying around with it, I tend to just learn the parts that I like and go, all right, I'll get the rest of it later, and then I never get back to it. But yeah, that's it. See ya.